Okay. Emergency video. Did not expect to have to make this. Was not ready to make a video at all. I look jank. Don't care. Pete Carroll is not going to be the Seahawks coach anymore. I am absolutely shocked. I saw the notification on my phone and I thought it was a troll at first. He's not going to be the head coach of the Seahawks. All week he was saying that he expects to be back, that he was going to return, and to be honest with you, I fully expected that he was going to be the coach next year. They just went 9-8. Again, they weren't bad enough, I don't think, to warrant a firing, but he is getting old, and the Seahawks really haven't been great for years now, right? So I will admit I did want him to step down as coach. I thought obviously he's the greatest coach we've ever had. He's led us to the highest of highs, but I thought it was time. I did think it was time, and I didn't think I was going to get my wish until next year. So, kind of crazy. It came out this week that he had 1 year left on his deal when it was previously thought he had two. He is no longer the coach. I'm reading reports live, like it's happening right now. They're saying that he may step into an office role, kind of in the same vein that some coaches do, maybe like a team president or like a vice president of player personnel, something along those lines. I expect, and just reading through it, I mean, Dan Quinn seems to be the most likely choice right now. But as a Seahawks fan, as a selfish Seahawks fan, my choices are going to be Ben Johnson, Jim Harbaugh. That's probably not realistic, but that's okay. I would love Ben Johnson. I would love Jim Harbaugh. I would be okay with Dan Quinn. I wouldn't be like over the moon excited, but I would be okay. I think our defense would get much better. Mike McDonald from the Ravens, I think, is another good option if you want to go defense. I would definitely prefer an offensive guy, but again, if you want to go defense, I don't think that's the worst thing in the world. Who else? I guess Belichick's available. Mike Vrabel. Those would be obviously upgrades. But the thing about Pete Carroll that I've been saying, and I've been saying for probably a few years now, is it just doesn't seem like he is up to par with the modern NFL. And what I mean by that is his schemes, his game planning. It just seems a little outdated. He wants to run the football and play good defense. And while that sounds great, and you can still win doing that in the NFL, Pete's defenses just look lost majority of the time. I mean, we play, the Rams and the 49ers 4 times a year. Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan, they scheme circles around Pete Carroll. And as we're seeing the league evolve and we're seeing, even more motion and we're seeing even more, pre-snap adjustments on the offensive side of the football, Pete just seemed like he was kind of stuck in quicksand. It didn't seem like he was able to adapt to those changes in the NFL, everything like that, right? And probably I would say circa 2017, when the Legion of Boom disbanded, the defense has just been going downhill, 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 downhill. And again, if you're going to be a defensive coach in the modern era, it's a lot harder to succeed. But if your defenses are good, then that's fine, right? His defenses haven't been good for years, and our offenses have been talented, and our offenses have been pretty good. But I don't think they've been able to achieve their maximum level, because while Pete did normally leave the offense to the coordinators, he had his hand on everything. Like, he was very, open about the fact that he kind of wants to just run the football. He wants to play his way. And I am now wondering if Seattle is going to go in a different direction, if they're going to go for an offensive coach, somebody who's more, I guess, in tune with the modern game, with the way the offense is played now. I mean, I really do think when Seattle was making their decision, and I'm guessing this is from Jody Allen. I'm guessing this was a direct, line of sight from Jody Allen, because, like I said, Pete Carroll was talking earlier this week. Hey, I want to come back. I expect to be the coach next year. He was talking in his postgame press conference. Yeah, when we do this next year, like, he very much, I think, thought he was going to be the coach of the team next year. But I really do think that Jody Allen stepped in and said, "Hey, Pete, like, it's time. It's time." And I hope that it wasn't done in a disrespectful way. I really doubt it was done in a disrespectful way, but I really do think they kind of sat him down. Maybe it was her and John Schneider. Maybe it was just her. I'm not totally sure how that worked, because John and Pete have been a package deal their entire tenure in Seattle. I'm pretty sure Jody just sat him down and said, "Hey, Pete, it's time," and he said, "Okay." I'm sure that conversation included some sort of promise to have him as a part of the franchise still, like a front office, like I said, a front office position, player personnel guy, but so he could still work with John Schneider. But again, not the coach. And now Seattle is one of the 7 teams that has a coaching vacancy. as it currently stands. There might be more after the playoffs, but as it currently stands, there are 7 coaches that need to be hired for head coaching positions in the NFL. And Seattle put their head in there, right? I mean, this is 1 out of every 4 teams we're seeing in the coaching hunt, so this is kind of insane. But again, I really want them to land one of the big fishes. Really want them to land one of the big fishes. I think I've said this all year, and people who are not Seahawks fans don't believe me, but I think Seahawks fans would agree. The Seahawks have a really good young core. They have a good young core of players. Now, they have some older veterans that are not going to be part of the future, and that's fine. But I think the core aspect of their team is young, it's cheap, and it's talented. A coach, I think, would be very attracted to that because the Seahawks, despite having a bad season, we still went 9-8, right, with this team. And I think the young guys are only going to get better. Boye Mafe showed major improvements this year. Devin Witherspoon was damn near an all-pro. There's Kenneth Walker still really good. I think Jack Smith and Jig was going to get a bigger role. Like, a lot of players are going to be better, I think, going forward. And I think if you're a coach, you would be enticed by Seattle. Now, I think the big question mark after head coach would be quarterback. We do have pick 16. I kind of doubt we'll take a quarterback with pick 16, so I would definitely guess it's going to be Geno for another year, unless they want to go really balls crazy and make a trade for Justin Fields, which, again, depending on who we hire, I could think that's more of a possibility. But I don't necessarily think Geno's a problem, and I think any coach that comes in would feel fine having Geno Smith. They wouldn't be like, yeah, I got to replace this guy right away. So very, very interesting. Please go with an offensive guy. Again, my number 1 choice would be Ben Johnson. I would also really like Jim Harbaugh, but again, I doubt it. Let's be real. But I'm just shocked. So I had to just come on really quick here, give you guys my rants, talk about the Pete Carroll, talk about the Seahawks, and hope you guys enjoyed. I am shocked right now. I will update you guys. I literally was planning to make tonight when I got home. Tonight, a coaching video where each coach should land, and I wasn't even thinking to include Seattle. Like, I was literally making the thumbnail as I saw the thing on my phone. It was just the craziest thing. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.